Zara Patel had fixed countless things on Orbital Station Delta 9, but this was the first time she'd been asked to repair a food dispenser while being watched by a raccoon. The creature sat atop a cargo container, washing its tiny hands with meticulous care, its enhanced cybernetic eye glowing a soft blue in the dim light of the maintenance corridor. She wasn't supposed to have seen it at all. The raccoon had been expertly hiding in the station's maintenance tubes for 3 days, leaving only the faintest traces of its presence. A few missing snacks from the kitchen, some mysteriously reorganized toolkits, and peculiar mechanical improvements to various systems that nobody had authorized. The mystery had ended 20 minutes ago when Zara, doing a routine check of the environmental controls, had opened an access panel and found herself face-to-face with the most sophisticated-looking raccoon she'd ever seen. Instead of scurrying away, it had tilted its head, gestured to the malfunctioning food dispenser with one tiny paw, and waited expectantly. "You know," Zara said, more to herself than the raccoon, "I'm pretty sure there's a regulation against unauthorized enhanced animals on space stations." The raccoon chittered something that sounded suspiciously like laughter. "But I suppose you're not too concerned with regulations, are you?" The raccoon's cybernetic eye whirred as it focused, and it pulled out a small tablet from a pouch attached to what Zara now noticed was a custom-made utility vest. With surprising dexterity, it typed out a message and held up the screen. "Name's Nova. And no, regulations aren't my strong suit." Zara nearly dropped her multi-tool. "You can write?" "Enhanced intelligence," Nova typed back. "Long story. But right now, we have bigger problems than my unauthorized presence." Before Zara could process this development, the station's emergency lights flashed red, and Chief Security Officer Raj Kumar's voice crackled over the intercom. "All personnel, we have detected 3 unregistered vessels approaching the station. Their configurations match known pirate signatures. This is not a drill. Implement Security Protocol Delta." Nova's fur bristled, and the raccoon quickly typed, "They're not here by chance. They're after something specific, and I know what it is." Zara's mind raced through the station's inventory. Delta 9 wasn't particularly strategic or wealthy. It served mainly as a maintenance hub and rest stop for commercial vessels. What could pirates possibly want here? Nova's answer made her blood run cold. "Me. Or more specifically, the data core I stole from them. They've been using enhanced animals for criminal operations. I have proof that could shut down their entire network." The station shuddered as the first warning shots from the pirate vessels struck their outer shields. Zara looked at the raccoon, then at her security badge, then back at the raccoon. Station protocol demanded she report unauthorized entities immediately. But protocol had never accounted for a whistleblowing enhanced raccoon with potentially crucial intelligence about an imminent threat. "Officer Kumar is good at his job," Zara said slowly, "but even he's never dealt with space pirates before. We're a maintenance station, not a military outpost." She took a deep breath. "I'm probably going to regret this, but I have a feeling we're going to need your help." Nova's cybernetic eye gleamed brighter, and the raccoon typed rapidly. "I can give you schematics of their ships, their typical attack patterns, and their weaknesses. But first..." The raccoon pointed at the malfunctioning food dispenser. "Can we fix that? I'm starving, and we're going to need energy for what comes next." As Zara began working on the dispenser, with Nova now perched on her shoulder offering surprisingly technical suggestions, she couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. "You know," she said, "when I took this job, the wildest thing I expected to deal with was faulty artificial gravity." Nova typed out a response, "Life's more interesting with a little chaos. Trust me, I'm a raccoon. Chaos is our specialty." The station shook again, harder this time. Over the intercom, Officer Kumar was coordinating emergency responses, his usually calm voice tense with concern. They had maybe an hour before the pirates breached their defenses. "Okay," Zara said, finishing the dispenser repair and watching as Nova eagerly grabbed a protein bar. "You've got your snack. Now, let's hear this plan of yours. How exactly does a maintenance engineer and a cybernetic raccoon stop a group of space pirates?" Nova's answer was interrupted by another impact, this one close enough to make the corridor lights flicker. The raccoon's mechanical eye whirred as it adjusted to the dimness, and its tiny fingers flew across the tablet. first, we need to get to the central computer core. Those improvements I made to the station systems over the past few days, they're about to become very useful. Zara checked her tool belt, made sure her maintenance access card was secure, and gestured down the corridor. Lead the way, Nova. But if we survive this, you're explaining exactly how a raccoon ended up with cybernetic enhancements and a vendetta against space pirates. Nova chittered again, that same laughing sound, and scampered ahead, tail swishing with what looked suspiciously like enthusiasm. As Zara hurried after her unusual new ally, she couldn't shake the feeling that her life was about to become significantly more complicated and considerably more interesting. The food dispenser hummed contentedly behind them, now working perfectly. At least one thing had gone right today. Whether anything else would remain to be seen, but Zara had a feeling that having a tech-savvy raccoon on her side might just tip the odds in their favor. The central computer core of Delta 9 was a cathedral of humming servers and blinking lights. Under normal circumstances, Zara would never have allowed an unauthorized entity anywhere near it. But these weren't normal circumstances, and her unauthorized entity was currently plugging its tablet into the main console with surprising expertise. I still can't believe I'm committing multiple security violations because a raccoon told me to, Zara muttered, keeping watch at the entrance. The station shuddered again, and Officer Kumar's voice came over the intercom, more strained than ever. Attention, all personnel. The pirates have issued demands. They claim to be searching for. There was a pause, and Zara could almost hear Kumar's disbelief. A raccoon. They're threatening to disable our life support systems if we don't comply. Nova's mechanical eye flickered, and the raccoon typed furiously. That's Captain Blackwood. She's the one who started the enhanced animal program. Used us for heists because who suspects an animal? But she didn't count on the enhancements giving us actual consciousness, actual feelings. The computer screens around them suddenly lit up with ship schematics. 3 vessels, heavily armed, but with distinct weak points highlighted in red. Nova continued typing. These ships have a design flaw. Their shield generators can't handle rapid power fluctuations. But we need to coordinate the attack perfectly, or they'll adapt. Zara studied the schematics, her engineer's mind already calculating possibilities. We could use the station's maintenance drones to target those points, but we'd need to reprogram them. And they're locked down under security protocols. A new voice crackled through the station's communication system, smooth and dangerous. This is Captain Isabella Blackwood. I know you're hiding my property, Delta 9. You have 30 minutes to hand over the enhanced unit, or we start depressurizing sections of your station. And dear Nova, if you're listening, did you really think you could outrun me forever? Nova's fur bristled, but the raccoon's tiny hands remained steady on the tablet. Text appeared. She's bluffing about the depressurization. Their weapons can't target with that precision. But she has other ways to make things difficult. As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the station. Multiple system breaches detected, the automated system announced. Security protocols failing. Emergency bulkheads engaging. They're hacking us, Zara realized. But how? Our firewalls should be. Nova interrupted with rapid typing. They're using the access codes I stole. The same ones I've been using to improve your systems. But that means... The raccoon's cybernetic eye gleamed with what Zara could have sworn was mischief. They'll follow the path I created. Right into our trap. Zara watched in amazement as Nova's tiny fingers flew across multiple holographic interfaces. The raccoon wasn't just smart. It was a programming genius. Lines of code reflected in its mechanical eye as it worked, setting up something complex and clever. What exactly are you doing? Zara asked, splitting her attention between the screens and the door. Remember those improvements I mentioned? I didn't just upgrade your systems. I created a shadow network. When they think they're taking control of the station, they'll actually be locked into a simulation. Meanwhile, we'll have access to their ship's real control systems. A slow smile spread across Zara's face. That's brilliant. But they'll figure it out eventually. We don't need forever, Nova typed. Just long enough to... The raccoon stopped suddenly, ears twitching. Through the computer core's door came the sound of boots on metal flooring. They're here, Zara whispered. How did they get through our security so fast? Nova's response was grim. Because they have others like me. Enhanced animals trained for infiltration. We need to move. Now. But before they could reach the secondary exit, the main door slid open. A figure stood there, not human, but a sleek, cybernetically enhanced fox, its red fur contrasting with chrome implants. Behind it stood two armed pirates. "Hello, Nova," the fox said in a surprisingly sophisticated voice. "The captain sends her regards." Nova chittered something that sounded distinctly unprofessional, and Zara had a feeling she was grateful she couldn't understand raccoon profanity. "Agent Red," Nova typed, holding up the tablet so everyone could see. "Still doing Blackwood's dirty work, I see." The fox's mechanical I word. "We provide a service. Maintain order. You're the one who broke faith, stole valuable data, and now threatens to expose everything we've built." "Built on exploitation," Nova typed back. "On treating us like tools instead of beings." The armed pirates raised their weapons, but Agent Red held up a paw. "Captain Blackwood prefers you alive, Nova. Your programming can be adjusted. As for your human friend," the fox's organic eye narrowed. "She's disposable." Zara's hand slowly moved toward her tool belt. She had a crazy idea, but it required perfect timing. Her fingers found the small electromagnetic pulse generator she used for delicate circuit work. One burst would fry any unshielded electronics within 5 meters, including, potentially, Nova's cybernetics. She caught Nova's eye, tilted her head slightly toward the right maintenance shaft. The raccoon's mechanical eye flickered once, understanding. "You know what your problem is, Red?" Zara said loudly, drawing attention to herself. "You're so focused on your fancy upgrades, you forgot the first rule of station maintenance." The fox frowned. "And what's that?" Zara grinned. "Always check the ventilation shafts." In one fluid motion, she activated the pulse generator and threw herself toward the maintenance shaft. Nova, already moving, dove through the open vent just as the pulse went off. The fox and pirates' electronic equipment sparked and failed, including their weapons targeting systems. As Zara pulled herself through the shaft after Nova, she heard Agent Red's enraged howl echo through the computer core. They had maybe 2 minutes before the backup systems kicked in. "Please tell me you finished whatever you were doing with the computer system," Zara gasped as they crawled rapidly through the maintenance tunnel. Nova, illuminated only by its slightly flickering cybernetic eye, held up the tablet. On it was a single word, almost. Behind them, the sound of pursuit began to echo through the station's metal corridors. They had started something now, something that would either save the station or doom them all, and they were running out of time to figure out which it would be. The station shuddered again, more violently this time. Whether from the pirates' weapons or something else entirely, Zara couldn't tell. But one thing was certain, this was about to get a lot more complicated. Through the maze of maintenance tunnels, Zara followed Nova's glowing cybernetic eye like a bizarre blue beacon. The raccoon moved with purpose, clearly familiar with the station's layout after days of secret exploration. Behind them, the sounds of pursuit had faded, but the station's constant shuddering reminded them the danger was far from over. "Status report," Officer Kumar's voice echoed through the station. "Multiple systems compromised. Engineering reports critical failures in sectors 7 through 12. And, wait, what do you mean the life support is showing 3 different readings?" Nova paused at a junction, tiny hands working the tablet. "That's my shadow network confusing their systems. They think they're winning, but they're actually fighting phantom targets." "Clever," Zara said, catching her breath. "But what's stopping Agent Red from just telling them it's fake?" The raccoon's mechanical eye twinkled. "Pride. Red won't admit to being fooled by a rogue unit. Besides," Nova typed rapidly, "the Fox has bigger problems right now." A series of security feeds appeared on the tablet screen. Agent Red and the pirates were trapped in a loop between sectors, every door they opened leading them further from their goal. The Fox's cybernetic implants were clearly malfunctioning after the EMP blast, causing additional confusion. "We didn't fry your systems with that pulse," Zara realized. "How?" "Custom shielding," Nova typed. "Learned that lesson the hard way. But we need to move. Phase 2 requires accessing the drone control center." The drone control center was 6 levels up, and with the main elevators compromised, they'd have to take the long way. As they crawled through the tunnels, Nova explained the plan through quick bursts of text. The console room erupted in a symphony of alerts as dozens of maintenance drones detached from the station's hull. On the screens, Zara watched them move into formation, their usually sluggish maintenance protocols replaced by Nova's sophisticated combat programming. Multiple unauthorized drone launches detected, the station's computer announced. Warning, defensive protocols disabled. Captain Blackwood's laughter filled the communication channels. Oh, Nova. Exactly what I expected. Red, move your team to intercept. They're in the drone control center. Nova's mechanical eye flickered with what Zara now recognized as satisfaction. The raccoon's fingers danced across the console, and a new message appeared. She thinks we're trying to attack her ships directly. She doesn't realize. The message cut off as the door exploded inward. Agent Red stood in the smoking frame, cybernetics now fully restored, flanked by pirates with weapons raised. The Fox's organic eye narrowed. Predictable, Red said. Using the maintenance drones as weapons? That's exactly what Captain Blackwood anticipated. Your programming is showing its limitations, Nova. But Nova wasn't looking at Red. The raccoon's attention was fixed on the external screens, tiny fingers still typing commands. Zara stepped forward, deliberately drawing attention to herself. You're right, she said. Using the drones as weapons would be predictable. That's why we're not attacking your ships. Red's mechanical eye whirred in confusion. Then what? The station shuddered, but this time it wasn't from weapon fire. On the screens, the maintenance drones had taken position around the station's primary communication array. As one, they activated their repair protocols, not to fix, but to transmit. Signal boost detected, the station's computer announced. Broadcasting on all frequencies. Nova finally turned to face Red, holding up the tablet. You were so busy watching for an attack, you forgot what I actually stole from you. It was never about the ships. It was about the truth. Understanding dawned in Red's organic eye. The data core. You're transmitting everything, Nova typed. The entire enhanced animal program, the illegal experiments, the pirate networks. And thanks to Captain Blackwood's attack on this station, every emergency channel in 3 sectors is picking up the broadcast. Red snarled and lunged forward, but Zara was ready. She triggered her backup pulse generator. Shorter range than the first, but enough to temporarily disorient the Fox's cybernetics. The pirates raised their weapons, but the station's artificial gravity chose that moment to fluctuate wildly, sending them stumbling. What have you done? Captain Blackwood's voice had lost its smooth confidence. All ships, terminate the broadcast. Use emergency protocols. Too late, Nova typed, the message displaying on every screen in the room. It's already out there. The authorities will be here soon. Your choice now is simple: retreat, or be here when they arrive. The station rocked as the pirate ships began emergency maneuvers. On the security feeds, Zara could see their boarding parties falling back in chaos. But Agent Red remained, fighting against the malfunctioning cybernetics. You've doomed us all, the Fox growled. The humans will never trust enhanced animals after this. We'll be hunted, experimented on. Nova's response appeared on the main screen, large enough for everyone to read. No, I freed us. The truth doesn't just expose the criminals. It proves we're conscious beings. We can think, feel, choose. Like I chose to trust a human engineer who saw me as more than just a tool. Zara smiled at that, but kept her eyes on the armed pirates. They were looking increasingly uncertain, clearly more interested in escape than continuing the fight. Agent Red, Captain Blackwood's voice crackled through the Fox's communicator. Return to the ship immediately. We're leaving. Red's mechanical eye flickered between Nova and the exit. For a moment, Zara thought the Fox would attack anyway. But then Red backed away, organic eye showing a mixture of anger and something else. Respect, maybe. This isn't over, Red said quietly. No, Nova typed. It's just beginning. The pirates retreated, their boots clanging on metal floors. Through the viewport, their ships were already turning away from the station, preparing for emergency jumps. Officer Kumar's voice came over the intercom, steady once more. All sectors reporting pirate withdrawal. Defense fleet responding to our broadcast. ETA 20 minutes. Engineering teams, begin damage assessment. And there was a pause. Would someone please explain why I'm getting reports about a raccoon in our drone control center? Zara looked at Nova, who was already typing. Think he'd believe we're just doing routine maintenance? The engineer laughed, the sound carrying all the relief and exhaustion of their ordeal. Somehow, I think our definition of routine is about to change. Outside, the pirate ships vanished into hyperspace, leaving Delta, 9 battered but undefeated. The maintenance drones returned to their docking positions, their momentary role as heroes complete. And in the drone control center, a human engineer and an enhanced raccoon began planning how to explain this all to station security. The station's computer made one final announcement: broadcast complete. Data transmission confirmed by multiple receiving stations. Nova's mechanical eye dimmed slightly, the first sign of tiredness Zara had seen from the raccoon. On the tablet appeared 4 simple words: "We really did it." "Yes," Zara said, patting the raccoon's small shoulder. "We really did. Though something tells me explaining all this to Officer Kumar is going to be interesting." Nova's chittering laugh echoed through the control room. The raccoon had one more message to type: "Don't worry. I'm good at interesting." 3 weeks after the pirate incident, Zara stood before the station administrative board, trying not to fidget in her formal uniform. Beside her, Nova sat on a specially constructed platform, the raccoon's cybernetic eye gleaming under the chamber's bright lights. "Let me ensure I understand this correctly," Board Chairman Patel, no relation to Zara, said, reviewing his data pad. "You not only harbored an unauthorized enhanced animal on this station, but you also assisted this entity in broadcasting classified information across 3 sectors, risking our station's security protocols and potentially provoking a pirate fleet?" "Yes, sir," Zara replied. Though in our defense, the pirate fleet was already here. A few board members coughed to hide their smiles. The past weeks had transformed Delta, 9 from a quiet maintenance station into something of a celebrity in the sector. Being the site of the great enhanced animal liberation, as the media called it, had brought both scrutiny and fame. Nova typed on the official terminal they provided, "I take full responsibility for my actions." Engineer Patel only assisted after confirming my intentions were to prevent further criminal activity. "Yes, about that," another board member leaned forward. "The data you broadcast has led to the arrest of 12 pirate captains, exposed 3 illegal research facilities, and prompted an emergency session of the Galactic Council regarding AI and enhanced being rights. That's quite significant for a maintenance station." "We aim to exceed expectations," Zara said dryly, earning more hidden smiles. Chairman Patel set down his data pad. "The question now is what to do with you both. Officer Kumar speaks highly of your actions during the crisis, Engineer Patel, and our station's efficiency has improved 12% since certain unauthorized system upgrades were implemented." Nova's tail twitched, the raccoon's version of looking innocent. "Furthermore," the chairman continued, "the Galactic Council has fast-tracked legislation regarding enhanced beings. They are to be recognized as sentient individuals with rights and responsibilities. Which brings us to our proposal." Zara and Nova exchanged glances. This was new. Delta 9 has been selected as a pilot station for the Enhanced Being Integration Program. We need someone to oversee this initiative. Someone with experience in both station operations and working with enhanced beings. The chairman's eyes fixed on Zara. Someone who has proven they can think creatively in a crisis. "Sir?" Zara asked, hardly daring to believe where this was going. "We're offering you the position of Enhanced Being Integration Officer, Engineer Patel, and we'd like to officially register Nova as your partner in this endeavor, with full station citizenship rights." Nova's mechanical eye whirred in surprise, and the raccoon's tiny hands flew across the terminal. "You want me to stay? Officially? Unless you have other plans?" Chairman Patel asked, a rare smile crossing his face. "Perhaps more pirate fleets to antagonize?" "No, sir," Nova typed quickly. "Though I can't promise there won't be more interesting situations." "We're counting on it," another board member said. "This station hasn't been this exciting in years." After the meeting, Zara and Nova walked through the station's corridors. No more hiding in maintenance tubes. Crew members nodded to them, now used to the sight of the engineer and her raccoon partner. Integration officer, Zara mused. That's going to be challenging. Nova typed on the tablet. More challenging than outmaneuvering space pirates? Point taken. Though we should probably establish some ground rules about unauthorized system upgrades. The raccoon's chittering laugh echoed through the corridor. On the tablet appeared, "Where's the fun in that?" They passed a viewport, and Zara paused to look out at the stars. Somewhere out there, Captain Blackwood and Agent Red were still at large. The authorities had found their ships abandoned, their crews scattered. It wasn't over. But then, real change never happened all at once. "You know," Zara said, "when I took this job, I thought the most exciting thing I'd ever deal with would be a malfunctioning artificial gravity system." Nova typed, "Disappointed?" "Hardly. Though I do have one question." She looked down at her friend. "Why did you choose to reveal yourself to me? You could have stayed hidden." The raccoon's mechanical eye softened, and the response came slowly. "Because when you found me, you didn't see a threat or a tool. You saw someone who needed help. Sometimes that's all anyone needs, enhanced or not, to choose the right path." A station-wide announcement interrupted them. "Attention all personnel. The first transport of Enhanced Being Integration Program participants will arrive in 48 hours. Integration teams, please prepare accordingly." "Ready for our next adventure?" Zara asked. Nova's response appeared instantly. "Always. But first, can we stop by the food dispensers? Saving stations from pirates works up an appetite." Laughing, Zara led the way to the cafeteria. Behind them, through the viewport, a transport ship winked into view, carrying the next chapter of their story. Delta 9 would never be the same. And that, they both agreed, was exactly how it should be. The station's computer made one final announcement for the day: system efficiency at record levels. All sections operating above standard parameters. Nova's eyes, both mechanical and organic, twinkled mischievously. Some unauthorized upgrades, it seemed, were worth keeping around. The end.